I often say that this school is like my favorite place.
It's morning in Alabama, at one of the few schools of its kind in the country.
Good day.
It's just like any other school. We just lift up people who are put down.
Some of these teenagers are traveling more than an hour each way to get to the Magic City Acceptance Academy, a new charter school in the suburbs of Birmingham.
Middle school, let me hear it one time for y'all!
It's become a magical place for more than 230 students who've left behind old middle and high schools where they didn't feel safe or respected.
You come here if you want to be somebody you can't be outside of these walls. You come here if you aren't accepted at your other schools. You come here if you're gay. You come here if you're lesbian. You come here if you just want to be who you genuinely are.
This repurposed office building sure does feel like any school in America.
My name is Evelyn. I just identify myself as queer. I'm a senior and I use any pronouns.
But what's different is that many of these students are proudly queer, spelling out every letter of the gay alphabet.
I'm Eliza, I'm a freshman, and I use she, her.
And this school tells them all, in every room and in every hallway, that you are beautiful and you are perfect just the way you are.
I'm Loki, I am a senior, and I go by they, she pronouns.
What was it about your old high school that you really wanted to sort of get away from?
The bullying and like harassment that I faced on a day-to-day basis was very overwhelming. It wasn't good for my mental health at all. I was just in like a really dark place going there.
And so coming here was kind of a rescue for you.
Yes, it was my saving grace.
I was afraid before I got in here that there were going to be kids that had come just for like the first day to like make fun of all the different kids. I was that used to being bullied that I was just like, they're gonna follow me here. I'm never gonna escape it. And I got here and people were like talking and laughing with each other, and we were able to be open with our identities, and our teachers were actually treating us like people.
True.
He's the one that did this study.
But outside their new school, there are people who want to tear the walls down.
Right here in Alabama, millions of your tax dollars are paying for the first transgender public school in the South. Enough of this foolishness. It's time to fight back.
There are grown-ups who say that this publicly funded charter school that's open to any student is ruining America.
It's a scary thing to be like, oh, my school is on the TV and they're not saying good things about it. This could like bring some bad like people to like see our school. There's not always like sane, rational people.
You were worried about safety.
Yes, I was worried about safety and the fact that a grown person would use children as like a pawn in their like political campaign just like infuriates me.
I'm Christian Taylor. I am a straight male. The campaign ads, it upset me and then it made me mad to a certain point. It has nothing to concern like with politics. You're a human being.
I was actually one of the people whose face was shown in the ad.
Right.
And
Guessing you weren't happy about it.
I was very much not happy.
What did your parents say?
My parents were very, very angry, especially my mom. I hadn't seen her that livid in a minute.
The students and their families feel very much under attack by forces that stretch far beyond Alabama. In nearly 40 states, lawmakers have come up with more than 200 measures that target LGBTQ children and their parents, and nearly 24 of them are still working their way through the state houses of America. So many of the lawmakers behind these bills aren't shy, saying very plainly that they don't want many of these children talking with public school teachers about who they are. In Alabama, the governor recently approved a law, now tied up in court, that could make it a felony for medical professionals to provide gender-affirming care to transgender children under the age of 19. And this is how she explained her signature.
We need to protect our young people. And if the good Lord makes you a boy when you're born, you're a boy. If the good Lord makes you a girl when you're born, you're a girl. And so we need to spend our energy and focus helping these young people become healthy, productive adults, as God would have them be.
I have friends who won't be able to access the hormones that they've been on for like over a year. And that sudden hormone crash is going to be very bad for their bodies. It's going to be bad for their mental health.
Terrible for your mental health.
In your case?
I never actually got the opportunity to start hormones. If I started hormones and then they just snatched it away, there's like a plethora of things that like could go wrong. This little like ball of hope that was like in this jar of candies was just like snatched right out from under me. Like I was so close and then it was just taken from me, you know?
With the stroke of a pen.
Like it was just like literally with the stroke of a pen.
The politicians here, they make us feel unwelcome. Anybody that doesn't conform to their standard, they will find some way to make them feel unwelcome.
It's not much of a sweet home, Alabama, for the kids who go to this school.
It's only Sweet Home Alabama.
It's Sweet Home Alabama for cis straight white people. It's not Sweet Home Alabama for everyone. People are like trying to say by coming to this school, like we're trying to indict people into the LGBT community. Where did they come up with that? That's my question. How could adults be like, yes, you can turn someone gay, you can turn someone, no you can't. That's a part of who we are. Like that's just us.
Those of us who are queer were queer before we got here.
Yeah.
They didn't drive a bunch of straight kids into the school with pitchforks and like force them to sit down and be like, you're gonna be gay.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Yeah.
With lithium, number 10.
It's not like everyone in here is a member of LGBTQ. Some people want to be here, some people feel like they need to be here, and there's no problem with that.
I don't get why anyone would choose to be gay, because you know there's a lot of oppression that comes with it. Like, if I had a choice to be gay or not be gay, I would not be gay due to the fact of like bullying and stuff.
The parents of Eliza Julian tell us that they're tired of people who don't know any better telling them what's healthy for their daughter.
God's great, God is good, let us think and form food by.
She heads back to the Acceptance Academy as a sophomore in the fall.
It's almost immediately she made friends. She's going out almost every weekend. This is somebody who very rarely went out and did anything at all.
It was a lot like, having her back.
They say that for the first time in her life, she has big plans.
You remember this book? Oh my goodness, yes.
Did you ever read the second one?
Yeah, I did.
She wants to be a teacher when she grows up.
I remember being called slurs like sometimes, and people would just like pester me. Like, they would ask me all these uncomfortable questions like, so what kind of girls do you like? Weird questions that you don't normally ask people. But now when I come here, I wake up and I'm like, I get to go to school today. I'm not like, ugh, I have to go to school today.
Eliza has found herself at this school. And if we hadn't have given her that opportunity, then we never would have seen what a wonderful, beautiful person she has blossomed into. We were looking at each other going, she's gonna be okay. It's that life-changing.
If the kids are emotionally and in a good space, then they can, from that groundwork, they can do anything. But if you're in emotional turmoil or dealing with lots of depression, isolation, loneliness, then you're always going to be hamstrung. And so I've tried to be outspoken as much as I can. I'm long past the part of being off the record, and people need to know the truth.
The truth is that this school is saving lives. It's no secret anymore that queer teenagers are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide. And according to the Trevor Project, about 1.8 million queer youth will seriously consider suicide each year in the U.S. alone. Nigel Shelby was a freshman at Huntsville High School in Alabama when he ended his own life in April of 2019.
We're cooking. Show them what we're making. We making biscuits. Let's go.
It's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Yeah.
I don't think Nigel struggled with being gay. I think Nigel struggled with being accepted.
His mother asked us to share these videos and photos so that the world will know that at least at home, he was loved for who he was.
Ever since Nigel was born, I kind of knew, I just kind of knew. But I would ask him all the time. And he would be like, Mama, no, stop asking me that. I could tell that I was making him feel uncomfortable by me asking all the time, Nigel, are you gay? But I never stopped asking him. But he never admitted to it either. And then one day, when I believe he was in I want to say the 8th grade, so he came and got in the car and he said, Mom, I need to tell you something. I said, what is it, Noonie? Because that's his nickname. We used to call him Noonie. He said, Mama, I think I'm attracted to boys. I said, okay, Nigel, what do you want to eat? Because, I already knew. It's kind of hard for me to imagine a parent not loving their child because of who their child loves. Me and one of my friends were out shopping, and we were trying to figure out, what I was going to get Nigel for Christmas. And we seen this rainbow hoodie, which is the hoodie he has on my shirt. Christmas Day, I let him open all his gifts, and I saved it for last. He hugged me so tight. I'll never forget him telling me that this was the best Christmas present. Because I guess it was a symbol to him that, okay, my mama really does accept me.
It was acceptance that she says he wasn't getting in school, and it was his last Christmas alive.
I need a moment. I swear I can hear him in my ear like, you got this, Mama. School should be a safe place for our kids, but it's not. Nigel kept a journal. He stated several times on several different days that he just wanted to be normal. Some of his peers made him feel like he wasn't normal because he was gay. As a parent, you kind of live for your children. So it's a struggle with learning how to live without him. I like to talk about and share Nigel's story because I feel like it could help someone. I wouldn't wish this on any parent. I wouldn't wish what he felt on any child. So with sharing his story, I hope that it helps. So many times our children feel like they don't have a safe space. And so I'm determined to let them know that they do have a safe space. If Nigel's story could help save just one life, that's my whole purpose.
Coming up, heading to the principal's office.
There is no gay agenda. We're just providing a space where kids can learn. We are giving them what they have a right to in this country, which is a free and appropriate public education where they're not marginalized.
And the moment the students say change their lives.
It was a memory that I'm going to take with me to like the day I die.
The academics are important, but if you don't have that identity and that self-confidence in your identity, then it doesn't really matter.
How many kids do you have now? I
have 240 kids.
Walking the Acceptance Academy with the school principal, you can feel the weight and importance of his work with every step.
We're about giving these kids a life. Some of these kids haven't been in school in years, not just because of the pandemic, but because of things that happened to them. When you go to the authorities, or your parents do, in a school and complain that you're being harassed in the restroom, pushed up against your locker every day, and nothing's done.
He has families who've moved here from out of state just to send their kids to this school. So he's adding 120 more spaces for new students this fall. There's a waiting list to get in, more than a dozen students long, and there are plans to turn these empty buildings next door into classrooms for even more kids.
The dream keeps moving. We realized that this space, this building, these 3 floors are good for about 400 kids, which we will surpass in 2 years.
Okay.
Now that we've done this, we feel like we can do more. It all boils down to if we save one kid, then our purpose has been fulfilled. We have the ability, the opportunity to impact a lot of kids.
The kids very delicately said that, you know, they believe that you're saving lives.
You know, I can't help but get emotional when I hear that. When you hear that, you know that your purpose is right and your purpose is in the right place. Because so much of me is in what I do every day, whether I'm right in front of the kids or I'm in here answering emails. It's all about making a space for them where their trajectory starts, it's been flatlining and now it starts going up. It's not straight A's. It's about, first and foremost, being proud of who you are within your skin, and then being able to move out of this space someday when you graduate and be confident enough to go into another space and then advocate for yourself. That's what it's all about.
It wasn't easy getting here. He and his supporters spent years trying to convince state and local school officials that kids really needed this school and that it deserved public money.
We get the same amount that everybody else gets from the state.
For a charter school.
Yes. What we don't get are the local taxes that communities are able to levy to go towards schools. So that money we have to make up through fundraising, through grant writing, and we have several large grants to take us through year 3 and hopefully year 5. Yeah. I hate to even use the word culture or culture war, because who we are, the people that are inside this school, have been around forever. So we're not creating anything new. We're just providing a space where kids can learn. We're going to take their hand when they come through our doors and kind of keep holding that hand all the way through. And hopefully at the end, when they graduate, we can let the hand go with the confidence that they can walk through the next journey without us being physically there with them every day. We'll always be there emotionally and a phone call away. But for them to understand that they can independently walk through the next step of their life, or they can independently find the allies they need to help them walk through that next step. We are giving them what they have a right to in this country, which is a free and appropriate public education that where they're not marginalized, where they're appreciated and loved and accepted.
I think that if Nigel had had an opportunity to attend a school like the Magic City Academy, it would have made a huge difference in his life. I honestly think that opening that school is going to be very beneficial for the children. I hope it doesn't stop there. I hope that's not going to be the only one. Those types of schools that cater to LGBTQ kids, they're necessary. And it's kind of sad, though, that you have to open a particular type of school for these kids to feel safe when they should be able to feel safe in any school they go to. Kids should be able to just be kids and be free to be who they are, no matter if you agree with it or not.
It's why their high school prom meant so much.
And it was just like, this magical moment of, I get to be as pretty as I want.
More than one student told us it was the most important night of their lives so far.
I was very moved by your prom. And the reason why I was moved by your prom is because when I was in high school, I didn't go to my prom because, I knew I was gay and I didn't want to go and pretend. And so when I saw you guys had your prom, I was just really excited for you.
I had been preparing for months. So I was like, I get to be me at prom. The only thing I was worried about was am I gonna get my makeup done in time? It was just so nice. It was a memory that I'm going to take with me till the day I die.
We're actual people, we're children in school trying to get an education without getting hurt or harassed. My existence should not be controversial.
There are certain people that just want to stay in the past, and it's we're moving forward and they need to move forward. We just want to get through high school, get to college, and go live our lives.
But not before learning that they are beautiful too. It isn't weak to ask for help. There's someone to listen 24/7 at Lifeline. The number is 1-800-273-8255. You are never alone.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.